Hello everyone, Banyuki here with another video, and today I'm going to be going over a new laptop that I picked up. I did wind up selling my MSI Creator OLED 15-inch. It's a very good laptop. I highly recommend it. It's got really nice build quality and it has that incredible screen. Unfortunately, times do change, and with times changing, you have different technology, so I've been trying to get into AV1 encoding lately, and thankfully this laptop gives me the best of both worlds. Inside is an AMD 7840S, and we'll go to it real quick right here so it proves it. I don't know how well you guys are going to see, but it does have a 7840, I believe it's an HS, and inside the HS also comes with the 780M. So the RX 780M is an onboard, basically integrated graphics card that does support AV1 encoding. So that's great, but for the money being only $900, that's right, I paid $900 for this from Ant Online on eBay. I also get an RTX 4060, which also has AV1 encoding. So I got the best of both worlds. I have the AMD AV1 encoding, and I have the NVIDIA AV1 encoding. So what made me pull the trigger on this laptop was very simple. See this right here, this screen? This is what they call Optimus, and Optimus on the other laptop was, it didn't have a mux switch, so that laptop had its downfalls with the fact that anytime that I wanted to use my screen to its full potential, basically using the 4060 on it, it never could, because I had to always go through the iGPU, which was about the 15 to 25% performance hit each and every time. The only way on that laptop that I could actually get the full power of my RTX 3060 mobile was to plug something into the HDMI port, which is quite defeating the purpose of why you have such a nice screen in the first place, at least if you're trying to do gaming. For production and everything else, it was great. Also, the RTX 30 series does not support AV1 encoding, and the the CPU on there was an Intel, and they still don't have AV1 at the time of this video in their mobile processors. So when I was looking around, I wanted to get something that had that mux switch so I could actually use the screen. And we'll get to that in a moment. But basically, I can now use the full power of this laptop with that mux switch. I can easily change it to NVIDIA GPU only, or I can keep it right now where it's like a switchable. So that's great. I can actually switch between, I'm going to use the NVIDIA card and get the full brunt on this screen, or I'm going to use the AMD iGPU and use it on this like I am right now. So those are the nice options that are opened up with a mux switch. That sort of stuff takes more money, of course, so it puts the laptop in a higher performance tier, or a higher pricing tier, I should say. So I got this Lenovo 15.6 inch. We'll go through it. Here's a chiclet style keyboard with the I guess the number keypads, and it's a little annoying because of this number pad, this keyboard that was like centered on my other laptop is now offset a little bit, and the touchpad, which was over here, is now over here, so it's taking me a little bit to get used to it. Let's take a quick turnaround on it. So we've got venting ports here on this side. We've got a USB-C that does do DisplayPort. We've got a headphone jack. I think it's like a combo jack. On the back here, we've got our power. We've got an HDMI 2.1 that does do 8K. We've got a gigabit Ethernet, and we got two USB 3.2 Gen 2s. That means full speeds. And we have one USB A 2.0, and then we got a little shutter cover for the camera. So there's not much to this laptop in terms, but it's the insides and how they were actually built up. So the nice thing about that USB-C and the HDMI 2.1, both ports are connected directly to the NVIDIA. So that's right. So I can just connect up the HDMI just like I did on my last laptop. But because the screen is it's an IPS screen and it's only got 60% sRGB coverage, it's pretty bad. For doing, menial tasks and whatnot, it's fine. But if you want to do something that actually, needs a discerning eye, this is not the screen for you. The colors are bad, and there's a lot of motion blur. It is a 1080p 144 hertz panel with G-Sync capability, and the motion blur is awful. I tried playing a game, King of Fighters 15, and it's bad. Okay, it's not a good screen. It's not. I'm not a big fan of IPS in the first place. I do understand the value of IPS on a laptop because, you know, you want some decent viewing angles, but contrast is poor, color reproduction is bad. It's just not a good, it's not a good screen. Simple as that. So how do I use this to look good? Well, I could either use the HDMI, or I can go back to my lovely Rode Max glasses. That's right, these bad boys that are in here, I just connect one cable to my USB-C, 1080p 120 hertz OLED, and it's about like a 120-inch screen with these glasses on. And remember, these guys have stereo speakers as well inside the actual stems of the glasses. So with these guys, I've already tried it out. It's pretty breathtaking. It's pretty incredible. Now I could do the same thing with this, but with this, I'm using an RTX 4060, and I can get 1080p 120 hertz, no problem out of the GPU of the 4060. It's actually quite potent. So for $900, you get this laptop screen. I got 512 gigs of M.2, and it came with 16 gigs of DDR5 SODIMMs. There were two of them right here. To open up this laptop, you have to keep this in mind. You have to take off these screws here, and then there's 1, 2, and 3, and this pops out, and then you can start hitting the ones over here. These are the short screws, these are the longer screws. But it's very easy to upgrade. I put in a, let me see, go back to it. I put in a 1 terabyte here, I took out the 512, put a 1 terabyte here, and then I put a 2 terabyte here. It does have only a 60 watt battery, a 60 kilowatt battery. Not that great. The speakers are pretty decent. They have the grills here though, which pushes the sound up. It's not that bad. But going from the other laptop, which was 99 kilowatt, which is the most allowed by TSA, it is a downgrade in terms of battery life. But when I'm using these guys, you know, it's going to make up for all the shortcomings, basically what I was having before with that. Such a beautiful OLED screen, but you can only use the Intel iGPU directly to it. Now I got these guys doing the work. With these together, it's a lethal combination. So I got the AV1 encoding on 2 different encoders that I can play with back and forth on which one I want to use, or maybe I want to capture video from within this laptop myself using the RTX 4060 to drive the graphics, and then using the 780 to do the capturing and the encoding. It's going to be great. I can use this as a streaming hub. So it's really nice to have all those technologies coming all into one piece of equipment. It's just the screen is crap. So I recommend, if you're not going to get one pair of these, if you are going to buy one of these, spend the extra money and get the better screen. I believe they have an IPS 1440p model that has sRGB 100%. That's probably going to be better for you. But if you do have these glasses, just know it's a simple plug and play right into that USB-C on the side, and it works flawlessly. All right, guys, if you have any questions or comments about this laptop, just let me know. The build quality, it's all plastic. It's still solid, though. I got it from Antonline on eBay. I'll give you guys a link if you want. Hopefully, it's still on sale. But yeah, I would definitely pick this up right now. So have a good one. Take care.